just like I said, everyone comes to the table with a different personality and opinion and all the things. And so we listed off some questions here. And I'm also going to give you a chance towards the end to ask questions that you may have had from something that came to you during one of our speaking sessions, or just like something weighing on your heart. And so I think like it's important, because I know when we leave here today, even though we have a good bucket that's going to get burnt, I know that you're going to go back to life. And I know that life looks different for some of you, that life can look like an empty home, that life can look like a very full home, asking what's for supper after your husband's been with them all day. That life can look like, and like you're just trying to pee because you haven't had a chance to, because we've just been moving forward and those fingers are under the door. That life can look different, but you're all going to go back to that same life that you had before you got here today. And so I think it's important that we talk about things and tools that we can kind of take with us to stay in that. But I hope more than anything that you came here with somebody, and if you didn't, that you met somebody that you can connect with, because I think that's a beautiful thing about social media. There's a lot of crap about it, but that's a beautiful thing, is that you can start connecting with people that build you up, that root you on, that you can call them and say, hey, it's hard today, and that someone's going to pray for you or encourage you or send you just the right message or just the right Instagram reel to make you laugh, even though it's ridiculous. So I think that's really important, you guys. Like, we are not meant to leave these doors alone, even though it can feel so alone. So just make sure you're connecting with someone. But we just wanted to kind of go through questions because, I don't know, that's my favorite part. So my first question I have for the panel is, because we are all in different seasons of life, along with living in a very busy and fast-paced world, how do you stay rooted and focused?
Is there an order? So for me, I stay rooted and focused. I really try my darndest to not miss church on Sundays. If I do, social media is great. There's recordings, there's live streams, and I watch it. And also, this is really strange for me because I never thought I would say this. I watch like other church services. And that is like, I know life is crazy and busy and chaotic and all the things, but I know that like if I keep my foundation strong, I can get through other hard things. And I definitely listen to podcasts a lot a week. It's good to share them with people. Like Megan sent me one. She's like, oh my gosh, you got to listen to this one, just like Thursday or something. And reading books, because all those negative thoughts that Megan talked about, they consume you unless you fill your brain with something else. So filling my brain with goodness is definitely my root.
Yeah, I would say church for sure. So I go Wednesdays and Sundays because I'm just super crazy and I love it. So I do that. And then I lean on my husband hard. He's like the voice of reason in our relationship, really helps me keep me grounded. So I really, really lean into him. But then also my support system. If I'm struggling or I'm having a hard day, I will lean into them, and they'll either give me a podcast, they'll give me their own pep talk, or maybe give me a Bible verse to go and really look at and to lean into. Those are my go-tos.
So I know about myself that I need time alone. And once every couple weeks for sure, I'll take a day that my kids are in school, my husband's working, and it is my time to just reset, refocus, regroup, maybe listen to all those podcasts that I've had piled up or read the book that I've wanted to. I have a lot of great services that I have on podcasts as well that just like pour light into me. And I know that about myself. I need the time.
Yeah, and I would say I know Sundays at church, it does reset me. I'm a huge music fan, so more than anything, I need that music. And I know sometimes, like, if it gets chaotic and busy, or even if I'm, like, ready to lose my crap in my house with our loud, like, I will turn on worship music. I will turn on music that just, like, calms me, grounds me. And I think too, like I am someone that needs to be by myself. When I start catch myself like getting negative or spiraling, I call it, that I just need to like shut everything off and be still and just remember who I am. And I think that is time alone and in quiet. That's really hard to do when you have children, but it's really important too. Is that alone or with cats? No. Like, what is
Obviously, with my cats.
Okay. I know everyone's wondering, like, is she alone or is she still 4 cats? Like, yeah. Okay. Okay.
I do feel like I love cats, but they've made it like the people in my life have made it like really weird that I like cats. Like I feel like I like them a normal amount.
You guys.
But
I sent her a snap of a cat towel with Easter bunny ears, and she's like, please get that for me. It's truth. No. Okay, next question is, what is your definition of a strong woman?
Am I always going first? I don't like going first.
Well, you shouldn't have sat by me.
I had no choice. It was the only seat. I see how this setup went. This is a hard question for me. Like, when I think of a strong woman, sometimes I think about, like, oh, I have this amazing woman. She's, like, kind of in my life, but not really. Like, if she saw me, she probably would not know my name. But I love her. And I look at her, and I'm like, wow, you're, like, such a strong woman. And it's just, like, the qualities of her, how she carries herself, how she presents herself, her deep level of love and care for others. And so I think it kind of depends. Like, I think there's different versions of strength in women. Like, I've looked at Megan in the last 2 years, well, a lot longer than 2 years, but through this adoption journey, and I'm like, wow, I don't know if I could do, like, what you've done. You know, like, that is, like, such a season of being a strong woman. So I think it kind of varies. Is that a valid answer?
So I was kind of thinking about this one, and I feel like we're all strong. And we're all strong in our different ways. And then we're all weak in our different ways. But we're not stronger than someone else. But I think it's important for us to realize our strength and to give us that credit that we are stronger than what we give ourselves credit for. Instead of putting someone on a pedestal and being like, hey, this person's really strong, because like we already heard Amy's story, even though she looked really good from the outside, she was hurting on the inside. And so we don't know that woman's story either, so to really lean on like your own strength and know that you are strong.
I would have to agree that this question was hard for me as well. I honestly think it's just everybody. When you wake up in the morning, like, you're still here, you have the strength because you're still here. And I think, that was really hard for me.
It was a hard question, Marissa.
I know.
Yeah.
My head.
It
then
is
when
good.
I saw
It's
that
just
she
hard.
did it, I was like, oh, now I have to answer it though.
Well, you answered it well. I would say a definition of a strong woman is a confident woman. And I think that can look in different seasons of your life. I think confidence is something that starts by believing in who you are. And so, but I do agree with like all these answers here. I think it can change certain seasons. It can change of my definition. It depends what I need, the kind of mentor I'm looking for at that certain season of time too, can change as well. So, hard question, Marissa. No. How do you deal with the judgment and negative opinions of others?
So hard. Learning to have walls to them is so challenging. And something that I've learned to do is somebody says something terrible about me or they're judging me for my decision, and I don't ignore it, because you don't actually ever really ignore it. Like, you heard it, you read it, you felt it, and so you need to like acknowledge that. And so for me, when judgment comes, because it does come, always, I acknowledge it and I like stop it. Like, okay, you called me stupid, whatever. Or I don't agree with what you're doing as a mom. Okay, thanks. Can we be encouraging to each other? And I stop that and I take a look at myself and I'm like, am I believing that? Am I letting that like into my belief neurotransmitter in my brain? I need to stop that because it's not truth. Because they're saying something, but I have to look at myself and be like, okay, but is it? Like, am I a bad mom? Am I dumb? No, I'm doing the best I can as a mom, and that's the best that I can do. And no, I'm not dumb. You maybe think I'm dumb, but I know I'm not. And so changing flipping the script of like, you're saying that, I'm not going to believe it, but I'm going to like remind that neurotransmitter of truth.
Yeah, I love that. I think something else I do is I'll think about what they said and where they're coming from, because just like Megan had said, like your thing isn't gonna be my thing and vice versa. So I have to try to understand, where are they coming from? Maybe I didn't communicate well to them my intentions or where I'm coming from. So is that something that I can learn better and do better in the future? Or is it something that we're simply just not going to agree on? Or are they just trying to be mean to make themselves feel better? Mm-hmm. So I really try just sitting with it and analyzing it, even though it's so uncomfortable. It's like my first instinct is like, you're wrong, I'm right, stop it. Mm-hmm. But I really have to realize like, okay, they may be coming from a good place, I just may not agree with it, or maybe it just came off wrong.
Megan was right. Our brains are very similar when she said, like, you and Marissa. I would have to agree with you, Marissa. Some people are going to judge you just to simply judge you because that's just how they are. But sometimes they're saying something to you that you may need to take a look at and change something internally, whether that's the way that you are approaching things or the way that they're understanding things. And sometimes it is truly, you're not going to be on the same page. And that's just how life is. And in that situation, I look at myself, and if I believe wholeheartedly, well, this is one of my non-negotiables, then I know we just have to agree to disagree. And then I try to let it go.
Yeah, I think hurt people hurt people. Mm-hmm. And so I even try to teach my kids this when they get bullied or they're talking about the bus. That's a ground for a whole new. But like, we don't know where people came from, right? We don't know what people carry with them. And I think sometimes like it's not us. We're just that victim that they can hurt. We just cross the path at the wrong time. And I think hurt people can hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. And it's not necessarily, I do always try to see I'm getting better. I didn't always, like I'd be like, ah! But like now I'm trying to like give them grace and understand, and like, I don't know why they said that. I don't know why they did that, but there's clearly something that they have to work on, because again, when you start looking at yourself and you're like, it is my non-negotiable, I do believe in it, I know this, then I know it's not me. However, I will say if it offends you a lot, it's something that you might need to work on. Mm-hmm. I say that all the time, like if you're offended, you should probably start looking inside here. Yep. Yeah. How do you gain confidence? How have you gained the confidence to lean into the uncomfortable?
Everyday battle. I don't know if you ever really like arrive at confidence. I feel like for me, it's always something that I've just had to learn to lean into. Like, you start a new thing, you start a new job, you start a new school, anything is like, I don't know anything. I don't know how to do this. You have to do things afraid. And that's how your confidence grows, is I don't know, but I'm going to do it. And every time you do that, it grows your confidence. And so for me, it comes Okay, hey, addictive personality, remember that? I like get addicted to it, of healthy addiction, of growth. Like, I know when I lean into trying something new, doing something different, going after a hard thing, I'm going to fail and learn, or I'm going to grow in confidence, most of the time both. And so it's just constantly doing it and doing it afraid.
Yeah. I would say similar. The other thing that I do that I've actually like recently started doing, when I say recently, like within the last year or so, is like I'll ask myself every single day, what is something I can do that surprises myself? And I'll intentionally do something that's very uncomfortable, whether it's like reaching out to somebody that scares the living daylights out of me, or whether it's simply, honestly though, you guys, like getting out of bed when my alarm goes off and getting downstairs and getting that me time in. And every time I do something uncomfortable, it's like a little token, like this little token of confidence you're putting in this bucket every single day. So that way when something really bad does happen to you and maybe half of your bucket falls over, you still have half of your bucket of confidence. And then it's your responsibility to just keep doing that confidence over and over and over. And you will get shaken and you will feel like you get broken. But I feel like the more you can do something every single day that's just uncomfortable or one of those like moments is a moment that you're putting a token into your bucket.
That's good. I just do it. I do it and I figure it out as I go. And that's where my stubbornness really comes in handy, because I just do it. And it's like, if you say I can't do it, I will prove you 10 times over that I can. And that's where Google comes in handy, and books and podcasts, and I just go.
I think the most helpful thing that I did, just kind of coming off of last year, obviously we're 3 of the 4 of us were business partners, and then kind of all felt the stirring in our hearts to go our separate ways. And for me, I've always relied on others. I've always felt comfort being with others. Like, people are like, why would you be business partners with someone? It was comfortable for me. And so when I felt called to turn my chair around to the uncomfortable, I knew that I had to start like doing the work alone, and that was really scary. And so I took the dry erase marker and I wrote on my bathroom mirror, I can do hard things. And every day I did something hard. And my hard could be different than your hard, but it was like an accomplishment for me, whether that was like, I love wine. So I knew, like, if I am going to start a website and a podcast and like write a book, I'm going to say that out loud. But like, I can't have a glass of wine every night. I can have a glass of wine sometimes because I love it, but I can't have it every night. So even as simply as I didn't have a glass of wine tonight, I did something hard because I thought, like, oh, I can relax. Instead of having that wine, I decided to like Google or YouTube or look something up because I was alone and I knew that's where the next path I needed to take. So just having that visual, because I am a visual person, of like, I'm doing something hard today, and if I didn't take a red tally mark to it, it was like, dang, I still have 10 minutes left of the day. What am I gonna do? Because I think that that's important. So just kind of how your brain works, that was helpful for me to lean into that. What is one habit that you do that has helped contribute to who you are today?
I have learned how to create healthy habits in my life because I had a lot of super unhealthy ones. A new, fun, very new, fun, recent habit is waking up early. I know, it's going to shock these two. Morning person, late person, and I was always like, don't text me before 8 a.m. And she's always like, 5:55. Good morning, beautiful. Yes, and a novel. Lindsay and I are like, we're sleeping. But
They would respond to me at 2 in the morning, but
yes.
whatever.
Yeah, we were sending things at like midnight, and she's like sleeping for 4 hours already. So I actually said to Marissa one time, I was like, I'm not a morning person. No, like, okay, but I'll do it once for you. And she's up at like 5 working out. Bless her soul. I'm up at 5 and I'm like, what? And we have started doing 6 a.m. Zoom calls. And it has been so amazing for me, you guys. So she lives like over an hour away from me. So we hop on Zoom and we open a devotional and we read. And I'm like, I'm a dang morning person. Look at me go. And it's so hard. It is so hard, you guys. When my alarm goes off at 5:42, I'm like, ugh. I can just text and be like, I'm tired. No, I'm getting up and I'm doing it. And every day, I feel so good and I feel so accomplished. So it's like you change one little habit in your life and it like changes your life. So don't think it has to be like something huge. I think probably my most powerful habit changes that I've really like feel in my life have been very little, very simple, and very doable.
Yes, I'd have to agree. So I was trying to think of one habit, but there's honestly not one habit that's contributed to who I am. It's several little habits that I've added throughout the day. So I guess like my habit would be adding habits.
I love that.
I don't know if that even makes sense.
We have a habit nerd over here.
I know. I'm like, so, like, I love adding little habits. And so, like, I surround myself with these women. Like, I surround myself with women like you guys. I am very particular on the content I surround myself with. I don't scroll social media. If you ask me what's happening in the world and on the news, I truly have no idea. I couldn't tell you because that's how I choose to live my life because that's what brings me happiness. I work out and I eat well and the biggest thing, I guess, recently what I've done is really just try not being so reactive in my everyday life and trying to be like proactive. So not like reacting and being upset when running 10 minutes late to school every single day, and I just know my 6-year-old is slow as molasses, and now I just get her up earlier and just try being like more preemptive, I guess would be my biggest one that I've added in my little habits recently.
Mine would probably be I already answered this with one of the first questions, but just acknowledging what I need as a person, that I need some time by myself without everybody to just really focus on what's important to me. And that's been a game changer for me. I have more patience for everything, and I just feel like I'm not constantly running around like my head's cut off. So that's been very helpful for me.
Yeah, I kind of already shared the habit, and it was like to unwind with wine. And I still love wine, but like I want to enjoy it and not as like it was so stressful. Oh, it was this kind of day. Oh, it's something like my husband and I, in a weird way, because he became a wino, that we celebrate with wine. It's weird, like we'll celebrate, like if we went on a date night, we celebrate that and we have a glass of wine together. If we like kept the kids all alive, no, that would be every day, then we go back to drinking wine every day. No, but like that was a habit that it was like, whoa, we have this constant habit. But because we started changing that, my husband has he's on his own path of doing all these amazing things, and because I changed that, I stopped eating nacho. I think you can quit one habit or recognize it, and you have a ripple effect. Yeah. And so it's just been really cool.
It has. And one thing, one thing I wanted to add is that we actually implemented this school year so my husband is also working to be in the entrepreneurial world. And so things are very stressful right now. There's lots of changes right now. And so one thing that we have started is before we all leave the house, all 4 of us, and it will be 5 when Eli's old enough, but we all have to say something that we're grateful for. And so that has just been amazing, just for our girls' eyes to be open, to be we do have a lot to be grateful for. Mm-hmm. And then they are actually, I was just talking to a parent, and she goes, did you know that your daughter came up and asked her what she's thankful for? And I was like, yes, we need more of that. We need more of that. So I guess that would be a really positive habit that we're implementing in our family, just for us to be more grateful.
Yeah. I love that. I was just going to add, I love what you said about replacing a habit. Mm-hmm. Wine at night was a habit. and recognizing, like, this is a habit. How can I make the habit healthier? And I'm like, gonna go to Google and learn how to do something,
Right,
you know?
yeah.
So like, sometimes we have habits that like aren't bad or horrible, but they could be better. And so replacing a habit with something healthier, I think that was super powerful.
When you catch yourself in the comparison game and it gets to your head, how do you handle that?
Okay, true confessions moment. So this morning when Marissa was up here rocking the stage, I already told her this, so it's fine. She's like, did I do okay? I was like, girlfriend, you did so good. Like, that was amazing. I said, I'm going to tell you this, and I wouldn't lie to you, especially in church. I told her, I said, you were up there, and I was like, trying to compare myself to her. This morning, you guys, we never arrive at this. And I was like, I'm not going to be as good as her. And I'm like thinking all these things. And I was like, you know, God slapped me upside the head. Thank you. Like, stop. I'm comparing. This is stupid. Marissa's rocking the stage. Lindsay's going to rock the stage. Megan's going to rock the stage. I'm going to rock the stage. There's room for all of us. And I have to remind myself of that because it is easy to scroll social media and like, I want to paint my kitchen cabinets, which I've wanted to do for years, because I see it on social media. What would you not want in life or think you needed if you didn't have social media? It's like such a game changer question for me. I could care less what my kitchen looks like, but I care now because Instagram is pretty. And so I have to stop, really like stop those thoughts and like analyze, like, why am I thinking that? There's room for everybody.
Yes. Comparison is hard because I feel like we're in a world where we all feel like we have to compare and level up to so-and-so, whoever we're next to. I still struggle, you guys, every single day. In fact, today, like, I have seen some women, I'm like, gosh, they're so pretty. Like, why? And then I'm like, hold on, wait. Like, we're all our own person. We're all our own daughters. There's no need to compare, especially here. It's so easy to do. And I feel like when we are in a place where it's an empowering event like this and we're all here to support each other, Satan is here and he's trying to get in everybody's head to get you guys against each other. So I just really wrote that down and know that that's not coming from him and that's not coming from me. But I will like kind of freak out and go like in a text frenzy with a bunch of people that I know will tell me the truth and tell me to just stop. And I will ask like their opinion. But really like I will just be like, okay, I'm getting better at catching myself when I notice it, but sometimes it is hard, especially, like you said, on Instagram, you're in the scroll, and you're like, oh, look at that family, they're matching outfits, or look at that home, or look at that vacation, or look at that car. Like, it's so easy to do, but then you also need to, like, snap out of it and be like, okay, hold on, we don't know the whole thing, and this is our life, though.
I used to really struggle with this, but over the last couple of years, I feel like as I've just been digging in more about who I am and the way I want to live, it's really taken a back seat, and it's been a relief. It has been a huge relief, and obviously, I still sometimes get caught up in it, but you know, I make sure my social media feeds are full of things that only bring me joy, and not anything that's going to make me like ping with jealousy. And if I do feel that, I hide it. I know you can't hide everything in your life, but there are some things you can control. So if you find yourself getting triggered by, you know, a certain person or a certain business or whatever it is, hide it. Just hide it from you and then look at yourself and see like, ooh, why am I feeling that way? And then really look inside yourself because you can only control how you're feeling. So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually just hit this probably like, well, I can hit it every day. Yeah, I agree with that. But I kind of hit this like, oh, I'm in a new business and how am I going to promote it? I need to be on Instagram all the time. Oh, TikTok, there's Pinterest, there's this, you know, and like I'm seeing these girls do this. And I took a class on Instagram, you guys, like 7 months ago because I had no idea how to do Instagram, okay? But I was like, oh, I got to figure it out. And then I took this course, I paid for a course, and now it's a whole different world you got to do on Instagram. And so like I was like, oh my gosh, I got to keep up, I got to learn, I got to Google, I got to like, and then you do have to take a step back and shut it down and be still and to be like, I just have to be me. I just have to be me. If I do want to paint my kitchen cabinets because that's what makes me joyful, that's what makes me happy because I work and I take pride in my home, then that's what I want to do, not because I seen it on a reel. And like just to like root yourself back to be, who am I? Because I am not going to be for everybody. And I'm not going to be able to do everything. And if something doesn't bring me joy, then it's a no. It's a no. So I think it is so easy to get caught up. Yeah, I feel bad for a younger generation in that, because I just think like us having babies kind of got, I didn't have Pinterest as strong when I was, with my older children, but like when we were adopting, oh my gosh, the room's perfect. Everything is perfect. It's like, my gosh, if you used a secondhand baby crib and it wasn't like perfect, you just like felt that. And so, yeah, I feel bad for that Pinterest perfect perception. And so, yeah, I think just to remember what makes you happy, and that's not going to be for everyone. Okay, I know you guys, I'm trying to be sensitive on time here, so we are going to wrap it up. I do, though, want to ask, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask? And you know what? You can just blurt it out if you do, or raise your hand and we'll call on you. Like, I don't know.
I just want to make a comment about the comparison.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't also have to be comparison. It can be influenced by.
Mm.
Like, I'm influenced by how adorable you guys look and those shoes that you wear.
TJ Maxx.
Mine too.
And that's what I've also taught myself is through my fitness and wellness journey. It's like, your body looks great and I'm influenced by it, but I'm
Oh, I like that.
So good.
Influence versus comparison.
Yes.
I love that. Anyone else? Okay. Oh, yes.
Yes, I realized she came up to me and said, I couldn't read your grandma's poem. When you're up there on the panel, can you read it? So that's why I brought my phone up. Yes, I will read my grandma's poem. Dear Lindsay, flowers mean love. We're thinking of you. On February 14th, the one thing to do is send off this card with the flower bouquet of love and good wishes on Valentine's Day.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. Thanks for asking.
Does anyone else have anything? I honestly have no formal way of closing this. I don't. It was such a good day. It was such a good day. And you know what? I knew it would be a good day. I knew it would be imperfect, but it was such a good day. And I want to thank you so much for coming here and again, investing in us. It's the first time we were doing this, and investing in yourselves today. I do want to say, because this isn't a first-time event and you guys are the original, so you can always say that down the road if you see me or see an obituary. You're like, I was at that one event and it was crazy. But I do, in your bag, I do have a comment card. And you guys, I want your opinion. In there, it's going to say what you love, what you'd like to change. I know that criticism can be good and it's constructive, and I would love if you guys filled that out, and I will have someone put a bucket in the back to put it in there. But if you could just please take time, because when we know better, we do better. And so if we do this in the future, and I hope we do, but your feedback is important to me because you're important to me. And so I want to thank you all again for coming today. You guys rocked it, and it was a great day. Yes. It was a great day, so thank you.
Thank you, Megan.